Hi, welcome to this quick how-to help video on finding the angles in a triangle. Now, in order to answer these types of questions, you need a piece of knowledge. Without it, you won't get very far. So angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. It doesn't matter how that triangle looks, it will always equal 180 degrees when the three angles are added together. And it's that piece of knowledge that we use to help us prove quadrilaterals are 360. And it also goes on and helps us find the angles in things like pentagons and hexagons and basically all our polygons. So back to this video, angles in a triangle equaling 180. We're going to take a look at our basic triangle and our isosceles triangle. And I'll mention equilateral triangles as well. So the first triangle that I've drawn is a right angle to triangle. They like using right angles in angle problems because it means that there is a number that they don't have to write down, but you have to know. So you have to know that a right angle is always going to equal 90 degrees. The type of question that you could get is, let's say they're going to give you an angle here and ask you to work out that one. So you need to draw on that fact, draw on that knowledge that triangles will always add up to 180 degrees. And then what you do is take the 180, it's like your magic number, take away the angles they've given you, the angles you know, and that will help you work out the angle you don't know. So X is 54 degrees. When it comes to an isosceles, the fact about that triangle, the properties are that two sides are the same, and you will always be able to see which two because they will pop these little dashes on the line. So I know that these two are equal. If this was 5 centimeters, this would be 5 centimeters. But this is an angles video. It's not about the sides. It also means that two angles are the same. Now, in this particular diagram, it's my base angles. And when we first learn this, it's generally our base angles, which can lead to a bit of a misconception, and that is that it's always the base angles. But what our examiner might do is take our triangle, and I'm just going to bring it over here, and they could just rotate it. They could rotate it like that. I don't have a base anymore. Or they could rotate it so that, I'll see if I can do it. There we go. So that one of our equal sides is the base. And obviously any rotation, any twist on that shape is going to change the position of my angles. So it's not the base that I need to learn when it comes to isosceles. So how am I going to identify it when they rotate? And there's this really nice, simple way to do it. If you highlight, or you can run your fingers up and down the lines, but this line here has a dash on it, so I'm going to highlight it. And this line here has a dash on it, so I'm going to highlight it. These highlighted lines, if I put arrowheads on them, points to the two that are equal and come together to the one that is different. And that's one of the ways, and I think a really easy way of being able to identify when they rotate a shape. Okay, so let's put some numbers on and do a calculation against this. If I told you that this one here was 70 degrees and asked you just to work out that one, okay, we can actually work them both out because this angle here would be X as well. So I use my fact 180, take away 70, which is 110. And that 110 has to be shared equally between the two that will have the same value. So I'm literally just going to divide it by 2 and it will give me, 55. Let's write down the right number, 55 degrees. So I know that that X, whichever one they chose for me to find, would equal 55 degrees. Now, an equilateral triangle, which I'm not going to draw accurately, but I'm going to draw a triangle to represent it, we'll have all three sides crossed. And if all three sides are the same, then all three angles will also be the same. They have to add up to 180. So 180 divided equally between the three is going to give me 60 degrees. So when they're doing multi-step questions, and you can see my video on that, they will often use an isosceles or an equilateral because it's a way of giving information to the diagram without actually giving you numbers. Okay, I hope you have found this quick how-to video helpful. There's lots in the playlist for angles, so do take a look at those. If you're finding these helpful, please subscribe, please like, it all helps my channel, and I will continue to make videos.